every animal advocate and everyone I've been communicating with, what's on their mind right now is what's happening to the animals, the dogs and cats, the zoo animals, the farm animals, all animals in the war zones in Ukraine. Many individuals and groups are doing what they can to assist both in Ukraine and in the neighboring countries, which are accepting refugees and their pets. So we're always looking out for timely and factual information, and especially ways we can help. I'm very pleased to welcome my dear friend, Chris DeRose, founder of Last Chance for Animals. Chris began Last Chance for Animals in 1984, and it has grown into one of the most effective and well-respected animal advocacy organizations around the world. And I'll tell you, and I don't say this often on the air, but Last Chance for Animals, or LCA, is one of my absolute favorite animal welfare organizations around. And Chris DeRose also happens to be one of my favorite people and animal welfare heroes of all time. Welcome to the program, Chris.
Thank you very much, Lori. Appreciate it. I really appreciate what you said, too. Thank you.
Chris, can you give us an overview of what's happening right now with the animals in Ukraine and neighboring countries?
Well, let me say the Ukrainian president has been asking for months before the war started for support by the United States government. They just wouldn't be in the situation if they got support, because he's not asking for boots on the ground. He's asking for just supplies so that they can fight. The animals are suffering for it as well as the people. I mean, it's a horrible situation over there. The Russian soldiers are going around just shooting civilians. A guy walking his dog gets killed. There's photographs of it online where the dog is still tethered to the owner and just laying there next to the owner, but the owner's dead. Oh. And there's nothing, and unless somebody comes along and releases that dog is doomed to just stay there and watch his owner decompose. And I mean, it's a horrible situation. People are getting killed left and right. We experienced this in 1939, and the Nazis went into Poland and invaded. Nobody did anything. Chamberlain was very passive about it and just let it go. The world is being passive about this. We should not at all stand by and watch another repeat of history where does anybody think for a second that Putin is any different than Hitler? No, he's not. What he is going to do is going to go from one country to another, and it's just going to be a chain reaction, and there's going to be no stopping him, because the more we allow him to do, and we're allowing it, it's that old saying, bad people could do bad things, but can't get away with it if good people stop them. So this is where we come in, and the other countries, Germany or Italy or France or Belgium, they're waiting for us. They can't make the first initial move because they don't have the power that the United States has. Yeah. We always wanted to be the power broker. We are the power broker. But now you got to do something about it. You've got to step in and you've got to make a point. You're not going to do this to the Ukraine, Hungary, Romania, or any other country. You're just not doing it because NATO and the rest of us are standing behind the United States that's going to stand up to you. And if he sees that, he would have backed down a long time ago. He's getting away with mass atrocity. This bothers me more than anything because it's history verbatim repeating itself. So, but the animals are suffering the worst for it. Yeah. They are, because they can't figure out where to go to hide and going down into subways or something when the bombing starts. They are terrified, and they're getting blown to smithereens. And nothing worse than to see these animals. And we were looking at videos, we're looking at stuff of these animals coming in. It's horrible. And I got my wife here, Cindy Beal DeRose.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Lori. I'm also the executive director of Last Chance for Animals. And yeah, it's a horrific situation.
Thank you for joining us. Not only are the animals terrified, like what Chris was saying, but they're starving, right, Cindy?
There's so many different things happening to them. We are raising money for a group over there called You Animals that is on the ground in Ukraine. They're a Ukrainian group, and they are doing all kinds of things over there. They are rescuing, they are supporting the shelters, they're providing food to the shelters and transportation to animals and people. They're reuniting owners with their pets. And we have raised money, and right now we're in a situation where we're trying to actually get that money to them because there's been blocks with the banking system in Ukraine and also the banking system in the US. We're going to figure it out. We're going to get them the support that we've raised for them. But it's a tough situation. Even like we're finding right now, we want to help and raise money, which is the best thing we can do to help them right now, to try to get it over there. That's also becoming challenging.
Oh my goodness.
The reason I brought up that other stuff, about the United States not stepping up to the plate is because that's the core of the problem. No matter what we do, helping the animals and stuff, that's got to stop. The whole invasion has to stop, because if not, it's just going to increase incrementally. I mean, this is one time when the people are suffering as much as the animals are suffering. We're here to talk about the animals, so, but it boggles my mind because Ukrainian people are lovely people. So what I'm saying is we should be stepping up to the plate, not only directly to help the animals on the ground over there, but we should push our government to step in and do something about this. Give Ukraine whatever they need to stop this. They got qualified soldiers. They just need equipment. That would put an end to the war, put an end to aggression in other countries, because he's not going to stop in the Ukraine. He is definitely not stopping in the Ukraine, and people have got to see that.
Do you know what's happening with the zoo animals or the farm animals?
Well, I do know that, You Animals had helped rescue animals out of a main zoo in Ukraine. And even though, of course, they're against zoos, just like we are, all animal people, they put that aside, of course, because the most important thing is to rescue the animals. So they have been doing some work in that area as well.
Yeah, and for the most part, a lot of these in different areas, the animals are starving to death, whether they be farm animals or and again, from the bombings and these animals are terrified and they're lost. They don't know what to do. And all we can go by is what most people that are listening to this go by, and that is what we see on TV, the reports and stuff that we research and we find out that's on the internet, different things. It's horrendous. It's horrendous. And we're sitting back on our laurels doing nothing about it, or very little now. This is stuff that should have been done 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks ago, before the war. This is stuff that should have been done.
Another thing I just wanted to mention about the animals over there, like when we have sirens here in the US and how that affects animals, especially dogs, how they howl and stuff. I mean, people really don't think about the intense noise level over there too. That's so frightening, not only to humans, but to animals immensely. I mean, they have no idea what's going on. And then they lose their guardians and it's completely abandoned, don't know where to go. Like Chris said, it's a really tough situation.
Yeah, you just think about our own situations with our own pets when there's thunder and loud noises, like on the 4th of July, how terrified they are. And think about them now being abandoned and left alone and starving, in addition to all the frightening noises.
Exactly.
Your website is lcanimal.org.
Correct.
Cindy and Chris, thank you very much.
Thank you,
You're
Lori,
so
for
welcome,
doing what
Lori.
you're doing. Thank you. Appreciate it.